Would you look at that? Time for a knife review, my friends. And we got another Brous in the house. Stay tuned, we'll talk about it. Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening, late in the evening of 20 April 2014. Yeah, Resurrection Sunday. May God's peace be yours, my friends, by the finished work of Jesus Christ. His death on the cross to forgive our sins, and his resurrection, proving he is who he said he was. So let's move on into the meat of this video. We are going to talk about the Brous Blades T4 folder. Would you look at that? And frankly, you can look all you want on YouTube videos. There's not a camera I've seen yet do justice to this knife. Not even the rather professional grade camera of a certain converted watch dude we all know and, and love in his own way. But what I'm saying is the T4 cannot be adequately captured in pictures. It's beyond that, frankly. Yeah, after a rocky last couple months with the Brous Bionic, a knife that I really hated to say about what I had to say about it. I love Brous blades. I really admire the young man Jason Brous. I really like his eye for design. I love his machining capabilities. I love his thirst for learning, his willingness to collaborate with other folks, and he knows how to market his company. Wow. So yeah, I wasn't too pleased to have to give the Bionic the review on video that I did. I'm looking forward to a revised Bionic from Jason, another small lightweight knife. Whether he calls it the Bionic 2 or gives it another name entirely, I think he's going to do better the second time around on that small EDC blade. But this knife represents kind of what has become Jason's bread and butter, the large tactical folder. The Division was a wonderful knife, although maybe too big. I loved mine. I don't own it anymore, just because it wasn't seeing pocket time, and when it did, it was scaring the sheeple. So. And as you guys know, I don't have any Safe Queens. So the Division moved along. It's in the hands of another conservator of the knife art. Not that I had anything bad to say about that knife. I absolutely loved it, especially as modified at the TheApostleP sharpening bench. And you might know, if you have seen T4s in the past, this one's not exactly stock either. What do you see? I know you know what you see. We'll talk about that as we move along. First, let's talk about the datasheet specifications for the Brous T4. What we have is a 4-inch bladed tactical / utility knife. Yeah, this is a tactical operator's blade. I say great for camp or field tasks, and absolutely awesome as a defensive or offensive weapon. 4-inch sort of, I don't even know what to call this blade. What do you call that? Is that a modified reverse tanto? Is it, you know, earlier tonight I did a review on the Protec Doru This blade looks really nothing like the Brous blade, but it's got a little bit of a harpoon thing going too. I'll tell you what it is. It's a deeply hollow ground, pretty broad blade with lots of belly ground, really thin, I mean really thinly behind the edge, guys. Oh, I mean, golly. You talk about a slicer. You just have to see this. Now granted, this is a guest blade in town for just a bit. Belongs to one of my best sharpening customers, Richard. One of my best, one of my pickiest, which makes him one of my best. Oh, you talk about a sharpener's dream. This has my edge on it, normal geometry, 15 degrees, secondary bevel, 19 degree micro. You've got to see this, guys. I mean, did you see the paper not move as it came off? I mean, what? Kind of a large knife to do this with in front of the camera, but man, I'm telling you, I love the way this blade is ground. As you know, I love the way it's ground with one exception. We'll get to that, I promise. Okay, 4 inches long, 3/16 stock, .1875. Handle like 5.175 inches. Cutting edge was 3.9, it's not anymore. Overall length, golly, 9 inches-ish. Handle material, beautifully machined and contoured G10. Knife design, I find out after my conversation on the phone with Jason Brous, is a collaboration between himself and a gentleman from Tanium Design, Jason Moriel Riboloff. I know I butchered the pronunciation of that name. I'm sorry, Jason. Frankly, guys, I didn't love the design of this knife when I saw it in pictures and video. When I got it in hand, my opinion did a 180. It's better looking in person than it is on camera, and when you get it in hand, oh my. I mean, what a saber grip. What a hammer grip. Guys, I can't even describe how comfortable this knife is. It's a flipper, but that flipper is not irritating my arthritic big old index finger knuckle at all. Reverse grip. Oh, yes. Big knife, got to get off camera. And reverse grip. Wow. What a slasher. I mean, guys, there's no bad grip on the knife. Construction, not titanium liners like Jason usually uses. Stainless steel on this one, heavily skeletonized. Look at the cavities in that liner. There's enough there for structure, nothing that doesn't need to be. Weight of the knife, remember, big knife, guys. 9 inches long, 3/16 D2 blade, stainless steel lined. You won't even be able to guess. I'll tell you, 6.2 ounces. 6.2 ounces. I think Jason listed at 6. I weighed at 6.2. Either way, not a heavy knife. And look at the balance of this thing. Right in the choil. It feels lighter than it is. In a variety of grips, it's amazing. Okay, we got to talk about it. It's the elephant in the room needs to be addressed. As you guys know, one thing about Jason's grind designs, and I'll try to get the light to reflect here, his plunge grind is very gradual. It takes about that far to get to final thickness. This notch is about half as big as it is on the knife you're looking at from the factory. It's not large enough for a finger choil. It doesn't get past the plunge grind. You've heard me talk about this before. The last 1/4 inch to 3/8 of a Jason Brous cutting edge is fat, malground, not sharp, and looks funny. However, the T4 as with most of his designs, really lend themselves. In fact, they beg for a forward finger choil. Would you look at this? Look at this forward grip. Nice, generous finger choil as ground by me. And look what happens to the thumb. Look what happens to the thumb. Oh, yeah. It just wants to be there. That is so comfortable, guys, for fine tasks. Can you imagine what you could do with this knife and this grip? You think of it as this big old mean tactical blade, stabber slasher, but look at this. Need to cut up some feather sticks, maybe chop up some veggies. It's awesome. Let's talk about this flipping action. I think it's the best Brous I've handled, guys. The detent is not overly ridiculously strong. Flips out easily. It's very hard, even though the detent's not stupid hard. It's almost impossible. In fact, I don't know if I can break the knife over it without it opening. I'm using as little pressure as possible to break the detent. The knife just flies open. Now, Jason has changed Loctite. He's using not blue, not red. What's the one in the middle? I don't know. That's what he's using from the factory now. The pivots are serviceable. In fact, this knife was conspicuously lacking any Loctite at all. I'm not sure whether an original owner did that, but I did get to take this one apart. His bearing system is a little different than I've seen. It is a captive bearing system, uses ball bearings. The race, however, is not it's not a chunk of urethane like the KVT system, or it's not a plastic race. It is a brass race. The bearings are held very securely. They're a little heavier duty than the KVT bearings or the Spyderco bearings. They're not they're not as many bearings as you'd find in an IKBS system, but I like this bearing system a lot better than Spyderco or Kershaw. And because there's no titanium in the knife, everything's riding on steel. So really hard steel bearings against stainless steel liners and a D2 blade. The wear is going to be minimal. The rigidity is great. The flipping action, as you can see, is amazing. Just love it, love it, love it. There's no vertical play, no side to side play. Blade centering is perfection. The machining quality and look at this jimping on the back, how everything meets up and matches perfectly. It's aggressive enough to be grabby. It's not stupid aggressive, so it hurts your finger when you flip it. There's plenty of room. Really, it likes to be push buttoned more than anything, which makes it real easy on your finger. But even if you want to pull it, hey, there I did it. Even if you want to pull it, you can stay away from that jimping nicely. Let's look at lockup on the knife. About 25 to 30%, nice and secure, no slip. Really, really awesome. I like where he put the serial number on this run. It's right here on the sort of the back side of the flipper. I don't know if you can see that. This knife is number 577 of 1,000. See how good my work is in here. I think that blended rather nicely with the finish on the flipper tang. It's all by hand, by the way. Freehand with a Dremel. And then finished with finer tools than that. Came out great. There is an alternate opening method on this knife, and it works much better than the one on the Division, I gotta say. Although this recess doesn't go all the way through the blade like the hole in the Division, it's actually easier to open with the thumb than the Division is. If you look at the way this pivot is adjusted, I don't like ball bearing knives that fall closed when you don't want them to. I don't like them falling on my thumb. I don't like having to make some weird maneuver to get my thumb out of the way. I like them to sort of shake closed like this one does. This blade will stay where you put it, okay? But you just give it the slightest little jiggle and closed she falls. And there's nothing, no blade play, guys. Just an awesomely executed knife. I'm going to give one negative to this knife, other than the fact that this needs to be here from the factory. Other than that, the division and the reloader and the bionic all have reversible tip-up pocket clips. The T4 does not. I hate to suspect this, but I have a feeling Jason has been skeletonized. And I don't mean skeletonized. He did that all by himself. I mean skeletonized. You know, Jim Skelton hates spring steel flat stock clips. He really likes expensive knives. They have custom machined clips. Well, Jason's got one on this here T4. It's right hand only, tip up. It's got, you know, the retention on the clip is like a pen clip, which would work great in a very thin shirt pocket. It's pretty stiff retention, not overly so, but there's no ramp. Guys, you try putting this in a pair of cargo pants or a pair of jeans, good luck. You're going to take two hands. You're going to have to use one hand to stretch the pocket tight against your leg. You're going to have to wiggle that lip of material under that clip, jam it down in there over these ridges. You'll get it there, and it's not horrible to extract, and it doesn't seem to really rip up my pants too bad, but it's a major ordeal, I got to tell you, to get it in the pants. Is this a good looking clip? You bet it is. It's a great looking clip. Does it function well? No, it doesn't. Would I be happier with the modified clip from a Division or a Bionic that I can slip easily into my pocket, my left pocket, like it's supposed to be for me? Yeah, I would. It's great looking, doesn't work that great. And this is a working knife, guys. I'd like to see another clip option available. But you know what? It's going to get rave reviews for the clip because it's really good looking. I'll be the lone voice in the wilderness on this one. But all in all, I think this is your best work yet, Jason. I really, really do. I love this blade. Just love it. What a vicious, vicious cutter it is. Great steel choice. Don't let anybody talk you out of D2, Jason Brous. Don't let them do it. It's awesome steel. Okay, here's the plan, guys. This T4 is going back to Richard, my customer. And Richard, I hope you're getting a good look because you are going to love this knife. I also have Richard's Division in for sharpening, and it actually has something I need Jason to look at on the knife. And I did get to call him this week, and we had a great talk, sent some emails back and forth. He, you know, kind of ragged on me a little bit for bashing his Bionic, and he told me that nobody has worse luck with his knives than I do, and I believe him. I really do, and we kind of laughed about that. But the Division's going back, but before it does, I'm going to do this same mod to Richard's Division and send it to Jason. I kind of really want him to look at it and get it in the hand, because I think if he starts to incorporate this forward choil in his knives, he's going to love them more, and I think his customers will too. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, I get to scrutinize his work. I'm looking forward to him scrutinizing my forward choil and my edge, and he'll be able to, you know, tell you all what a hack I am, just like I do with Tim. You know, Jason, you're a horrible hack, and I love you. So feel free to retaliate. Just kidding, of course. It's a good deal. I love being in contact with knife makers, and I love helping each other and learning from each other, and doing what we do better because we talk, and that's just a good deal. So stay tuned. There's going to be more Brous on this channel. In fact, I'm going to do something I rarely do. We're going to look upward. Jason, just so you know, I'm not a Brous hater. Would you look at that? Prominently displayed above the Chris Reeve sticker on the wall of the sharpening bench, a Brous Blades sticker. Yeah. So just for the record, I don't hate Brous Blades. I rather like them. I really rather like this one. Stay tuned, guys. More to come. Just as we leave, let's just take a good long look at the T4. Especially this. Look at that wonderful backspacer. Beautifully grooved G10. Solid backspacer with a flow-through design. Just awesome. That's all for tonight, my friends. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the Word and Richard's T4 are extremely sharp.